Yeah, we're trying to be a leader in apocalyptic defense scenarios.
But back to this, we have to return to this idea. This last point here, I think, is just crazy.
They're all in on it. And this is the reason that the Trump revolution was so revolutionary. It's because it defeated both sides of the USAID snake. And now we're going to see just exactly how the snake bites back.
Man, is this where we're at? And then I saw his response. And I almost lost my lunch. Every sketchy thing that's happened anywhere in the world over the past 20 years, USAID. Yo. And the response: drugs, terrorism, pandemics, overthrowing governments, prosecutorial lawfare, rigging the media, catalyzing censorship laws. How many crimes against humanity can one government agency commit? Is this where we're at? How many crimes against humanity can one government agency commit? Damn it. It's over. It's over, guys. This is what the general population is eating today. And then I saw this. Gizmodo, Elon Musk's enemy, USAID was investigating Starlink's contracts with Ukraine. The agency was in the midst of a probe into the billionaire's equipment at the time of Musk's assault. Which one is it, man? All by design. You see, guys, it's never ending. The rabbit hole never ends with this stuff. And that's the purpose of it. So what is Doge, in my view? Doge is basically, amongst other things, but if we're going to be general, it's the precedent for digital governance and Internet of Everything digital civics. It's building out fourth industrial revolution infrastructure, right? If we think about Manifest Destiny and the Industrial Revolution, the Gilded Age, as we're in a new Gilded Age. And of course, we must also consider Reconstruction, but it's this neo-Reconstruction. Fighting corruption, reinstating freedom and justice, guys. Getting back to common sense. You see the game? You see how we're all getting played? You get it? In my view, I know everyone won't agree, and that's fine. We're not always going to agree. Let me see your work. I'll show you mine. We have Doge. You know, this is the team player, right? Pick your teammate. Pick your team. All of these dialectics. We got Doge versus NGOs. Doge versus agencies and globalists. Trump versus WEF. Trump versus the Fed, Trump versus deep state, Trump administration versus Biden administration, RFK Jr. versus everybody, RFK Jr. versus Gates, big tech, indie tech, or little tech versus the global government, US versus China and BRICS, etc., AI, drones, chips, arm race, Elon versus Altman, rogue billionaire class versus globalists, accelerationists versus decels. I mean, it goes on and on. Millions of people are falling for this. And a lot of people see something's wrong. I can't sit here and believe people don't see that something doesn't add up. But everything is so complex and convoluted on purpose that it keeps them from really being able to sit down and think it through. Not to mention they're distracted. They're distracted from their screens or whatever else is going on in their life. So, you know, always be a little sensitive to that. But again, we have a little fun over here and we're going to poke it. We're going to poke a little fun. Here's another one. Now people are saying USAID is a front for the globalist agenda. Now a new dialectic is, oh, guess what, guys? Musk versus Soros. You know how much the right hates Soros. I hate Soros. Everybody do. That's a good one. That's a good way to get everybody. It's a really good one.
USAID. They're screaming about Elon Musk over there, but hey, George Soros and his boy are okay. You know, they scream that we're all a threat to democracy when they've been systematically dismantling democracy before our eyes. They've been...
Anytime I hear them say democracy, I just chuckle.
Caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and there's no going back. So I would tell my colleagues across the other side of the aisle, take your salty tears and sit right back down.
So basically this whole thing is, oh, guess what, guys? Dun, 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 dun. USAID is a Soros operation. As it turns out, USAID was in fact funding both the Wuhan lab gain-of-function research and smart matter collection systems. Does this mean that the US aid was simultaneously funding both the election rigging technology that would steal the 2020 election while manufacturing and releasing a weaponized virus that would distract the world from the theft of said election. Woo! Woo! There it is. Mystery solved. Mystery solved. Yeah. We could pack it on up. We solved COVID. The juice, the jabby jab, it was all a USAID thing, man. We just got to get rid of USAID. All we got to do, and Trump's going to do it. Musk got the tools. Trump got the battering ram. And we're going to fix everything.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too.
Freedom is back, guys. Freedom is back. Are you sick of all of this winning? I'm not. We're so back. You see it everywhere on the internet right now. We're so back. What, man? Come on, man. All right, so look at this one. Even Ron Paul, man. They're all in it. A look behind the curtain has revealed a horrific truth. Nearly the entire mainstream media worldwide has been funded by the U.S. government under the U.S. aid. From the BBC to the New York Times and Politico. At this point, it might be easier to find out who U.S. aid has not funded in the media sphere. Elon Musk, 100. Wow, they're just throwing U.S. aid under the bus. Now, there's a thing. What's interesting about it is it cleans everything up, right? It's the perfect red herring. It's like, oh, wow, they were behind the Ukraine. They were behind the jabs. Mission accomplished. We're done. Elon Musk, and they've saved the day. Wow. I mean, that's how easy it is. It keeps people's thinking overwhelmed by a false paradigm. Here's a good example of that. Now, what she's saying here is a rational and reasonable reaction in the way that anyone should be. Question both sides, pay attention, etc. But the problem is they're buying into the paradigm, this whole U.S. aid government paradigm, right? Check this out.
I really hope all of our government officials are becoming very acutely aware of how much we, the people, are done. USAID was literally icing on the cake.
You see, we've bought the lie. What I mean is, this is the perfect way to get people to agree with removing human-centered government and replacing it with automated systems. Because humans are corrupt. Right? Humans have egos. Humans are manipulative, exploitative, etc. Look at what they've been doing. Look at all of these things. Look at what AI has discovered. Look what Musk's new efficiency machine has discovered about our government. May this never happen again. May we never trust man again. See, this is the problem here. This, in my view, is how they're going to get this over, because they're going to present so many facts, so much fraud, so much bureaucracy that everyone is going to be like, yeah, we need to replace all of this with a new trustworthy, or should we say, zero trust architecture.
You're telling me that I have watched family members lose their savings, friends lose their retirement, thanks to your money laundering, because that's what it is, right? Like, we know there's no such thing as an actual pillow fluffing program. And the fact that you're sending money to a DEI musical in another country, like, what level of an awful human being do you have to be more interested in filling your own pockets than human life? I don't know how you're not pissed off. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. My children's future is not for sale.
The thing is, people have no idea that what Musk and what this whole rightist movement is developing is going to change all of our children's lives in a way we can't even predict yet. But you build up the sentiment, you build up the anger, and the populations will beg for their slavery. They'll beg for it. They'll demand it. And we're just about there. But not yet. Wait till you see what they uncover. they're going to uncover something huge, I believe. And it's going to, the credit is going to be given to Musk. The credit is going to be given to his machinery, to his new efficiency systems. And it's going to be great, such that no one even attempts to challenge or critique it. And we're already getting there, especially with this whole tax thing. No one's going to argue with that. So it's tough. It's really tough because this one here, clever. Elon Musk proposes putting the U.S. Treasury on cryptocurrency type blockchain for full spending transparency. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time, online, at any time. Interesting. Look at that sales point. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time, online, at any time. You know what that means? You'll know where your tax dollars are going. First off, why are we getting taxed anyways, right? But again, we know how this works. It's not about us. It's not about giving us our taxes or giving us our money back. That's the ruse. This is about infrastructure. Fourth industrial revolution technologies and digital civics. Changing how we interact as citizens, as civilians, as persons, as humans. Now, you will, and we will see more of this. It's just the USAID right now. It's probably going to be the IRS, the FDA, a lot of these other agencies. They're going to clean this thing out. Is it going to be sincere and authentic? We don't know. And how do we know we can believe anything we're seeing anyways? We're not involved with what's going on. We just listen to what we're told. Some people are saying they need to go after the Pentagon. That would be interesting. I just don't really believe that they would honestly do any authentic audit. I don't think they would do that.
That includes a Pentagon audit, which to the Marines out there, y'all got to figure it out. And we appreciate that. Lean and mean. We are going to focus heavily to ensure that at a bare minimum, by the end of 4 years, the Pentagon passes a clean audit. The American taxpayers deserve that. They deserve to know where their $850 billion go, how it's spent, and make sure it's spent wisely. It used to be that if you called for an audit, somehow you were undermining the department. I believe the exact opposite. I believe we are accountable for every dollar we spend, and every dollar of waste we find or redundancy is a dollar we can invest somewhere else, as President Trump has committed directly to rebuilding our nation's military. So rebuilding our military is key.
And the Pentagon has been developing this for years. This is back in 2022. So this is before what we're seeing right now. I'm telling you, Doge was already in the works. They just needed a sales point. Now they have a sales point. They have Musk. They have the culture of cultural futurism that Musk has just developed even more. The zero trust strategy is nested under the department's digital modernization strategy. This is exactly what Project 2025 says. We covered it last show. Digital modernization strategy. This is precisely what Musk has been talking about, as well as Trump. The reason I'm showing you this, because this was under the Biden administration. So everyone talking about, Brandon and all of this, listen, man, they're the same. They may come across different and have different policies here and there. Sure. Yeah, he's taking tampons out of bathrooms. Yeah, absolutely. He's signing papers so, trans women can't, play sports with other women. Yeah. But let's look beneath the surface. I'm just showing you guys that this isn't anything Trump's doing. This isn't anything Musk is doing. Musk is just, he's P.T. Barnum. He has the cultural influence. He has the government contracts. And he has the technologies. He has the businesses. He has the ability to actually develop some of this infrastructure. These ideas have been in the works. I mean, for many, many years. We can go all the way back to Bush and even Clinton, all the way back to the digital highway, the beginning of the internet. This has always been the goal. This is singularity is the point. That's why people poo-poo transhumanism. It's like, no, this is all leading to transhumanism. The singularity is the ultimate goal. All this political stuff is just different steps towards that. Just different steps through politics, through culture and society, or should I say social conflict? Because social conflict, politics, it's all emotional. People aren't really thinking. They're just playing on teams. and they're falling for propaganda, and they're thinking emotionally. They're identifying with certain characters and personalities, and they're not actually seeing what's happening before them. Check this one out. The DoD aims for full zero trust deployment by 2027. So that must mean that it doesn't matter who was even going to be in office. It says the DoD aims for full zero trust deployment by 2027. Doesn't matter who the hell is in office. This was in 2022, way before Doge. Doge is playing as a type of efficiency system to fix governmental corruption and bureaucracy. But in fact, it's key. It's a key element when we think of things like zero trust architecture, which is blockchain, digital civics, implementing zero trust for millions. The Pentagon plans to roll out zero trust at scale for the enterprise of over 4 million people by 2027. This ambitious plan is based upon the continued rising threat of attacks from individuals. You guys understand what that means? You know this can be domestically applied. Zero trust for the entire U.S. government. Are you paying attention here? 2022. Doge, been in the works, man. The whole thing. See, like everything they present to us, like it's just happening, like it's some response to something that happened in the present. Strategic, incremental steps toward a much bigger picture, a much bigger thing coming. Every day we get some crazy story. Every week we get some new thing. All of this, in my personal view, has been set up ahead of time. And these systems can coordinate rather easy with this new type of networking we have. It's not hard, especially if they have AI to help them out with the majority of it. The DoD announcement is far from unique. In January 2022, the Executive Office of the President released an announcement about government-wide zero trust goals. Clearly, the U.S. government places high confidence in the approach and intends to embrace it as soon as possible. In the current threat environment, the federal government can no longer depend on conventional parameter-based defenses to protect critical systems and data. The memo states incremental improvements will not give us the security we need. Instead, the federal government needs to make bold changes and significant investments to defend the vital institutions that underpin the American way of life. Interesting. The American way of life is changing, unfortunately. The White House states that transitioning to a zero trust approach will provide a defensible architecture for new environments. In addition, the government says it will require agencies to meet specific zero trust objectives within the next few years. The current threat environment leaves us no choice. This is the logic. This is what I'm talking about. Reason and rationale. It's very reasonable to come in with efficient systems and machines because of the fallout, because of the clearly exposed corruption that have been there for years. They just decided to expose it now because it's useful. It fits the agenda. It, in a sense, is productive for their goals. Otherwise, they would have never exposed any of these things to any of us. You think they actually care about truth? Do you think they actually care about what the people think? Come on, man. Look at history. Any damn decade. Tell me when. I'm waiting. Somebody tell me when. The American government's been about the people and not about industry and not about technological development at the expense of human existence. This is an existential threat. Existential. So this whole idea of freedom of speech and liberty is nonsense. It's all a lie. It's just trying to convince us that if we give up our freedom, if we give up our personhood, then we'll be able to have free speech. Then we'll be able to have liberty in abundance. But it comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. And if more people were aware of what we're going to have to pay, this wouldn't be as successful as it is.
Yes, sir, sir.